Welcome back to Cozy Rosy Crochet and to another of our squares in the Hodgepodge blanket crochet along. Today we're learning how to work the short chevron. This uses increases and decreases in our stitches to create a spiked chevron look in our crochet fabric. Now before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and of course the notification bell so that you never miss out on another one of my crochet tutorials again. Let's find out the materials we need to get started. The materials you're going to need to make your very own short chevron square is some Aran weight or worsted weight yarn. This is a size 4 yarn and I'm going to be using my favourite, which is PaintBox Yarns Simply Aran. Now this yarn is 100% acrylic, it's really soft and squishy, and this is shade number 250 or 250, which is bubblegum pink. It's a really nice pink, one of my favourites, super bright. I'm also going to be using my 5mm crochet hook. You're also going to need a pair of scissors and of course a darning needle to weave in those ends. So gather those materials and let's get started. So we're going to start by making a slip knot with our yarn and placing that onto our hook. To start by making a chain of 26. We yarn over and pull through. So that's 2, 3, 4. Now we go straight into our chevron pattern, working directly into our chain for this square. So we're going to work our first US double crochet into that 4th chain from hook. So this loop here does not count as a stitch, and we're going to work, so we're not going to work in 1, 2 or 3. We're going to work into our 4th chain. 2, 3, there's number 4. So we yarn over the hook and then insert our hook under the top loop of our first chain. We yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So this chain 3 and the double crochet together count as a double crochet 2 together. We're then going to work a double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. So we yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain along, bring our loop up, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we repeat that into the next chain as well. So we yarn over, insert our hook, bring our loop back up, pull through 2 and pull through 2. We're then going to work our first peak, and to do that we're going to work 3 double crochets into the next chain. So we yarn over the hook, insert our hook, bring our loop up, pull through 2, pull through 2, and we're going to do that twice more into the same chain. So we work another double crochet, so that's 2 into that same chain, and then we work a 3rd double crochet all into that same chain, and that creates the first peak in our chevron. We're then going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. This is number 2. And then we're going to create what I call the trough of our chevron, so the bottom bit, and that's worked over the next 3 stitches. We're going to start by yarning over, insert our hook into the next chain, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. We're then going to yarn over our hook and insert our hook into the next chain along, yarn over, bring our loop up. We're just going to yarn over and pull through those first 2 loops. And we do that for a 3rd time into that next chain along. So we yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, bring our loop up. Again, we're just going to pull through those first 2 loops on our hook. We should now have 4 loops on our hook, and here we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on our hook. And that creates our double crochet 3 together. So we've decreased across those 3 stitches with just 1 stitch on the top. We then work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 chains, and then into the next chain we're going to work our peak again, which is those 3 double crochets into the same chain. That's 2, and there's number 3, all into that same chain. You can see we're starting to get a bit of a ripple where it goes up and down on our chain. We then work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 chains. That's 1 and 2, before we work our double crochet 3 together again across those next 3 chains. So we yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over and pull through 2. Repeat that again. So we yarn over, but insert our hook into the next chain, yarn over, pull through 2. We've got 3 loops now, and then for our third one we yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain again, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over, pull through those first 2 loops. We should have our 4 loops remaining on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. We're then going to work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, before working our next peak. So for that we work 3 double crochets into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2 and 3, all into the same chain. So at this point you should have 4 chains remaining, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So we now have just 2 chains remaining, and here we're going to work a double crochet 2 together. So we yarn over the hook, insert our hook into the first chain, yarn over, bring a loop up, yarn over and pull through 2. We yarn over, insert our hook into the last chain, yarn over, bring a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. So far it's just like that double crochet 3 together, but there's no more chains to work, so we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that completes row 1. Going into row 2, we're going to chain 2. This does not count as a stitch, but we're going to skip the stitch underneath that chain 2 and work in 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So we've got our chain 2 and there's our stitch. We're not going to work into there. We're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And this creates the equivalent of a double crochet 2 together like we have underneath. We then double crochet into the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and 2. And here we're at the top of our peak. As you can see, we've got that middle stitch here, and we're going to work 3 double crochets into this stitch. That's 2 and 3. And then we work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches to come back down towards our trough of our peak. So we've got 3 stitches that we're going to work our double crochet 3 together over. So here you can see your last double crochet 3 together, and we're going to yarn over and insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the top of that double crochet 3 together, yarn over, pull through 2, and then finally insert your hook into the next stitch, bring your loop up, pull through 2 to have your 4 loops remaining, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. We then double crochet 1 into the next 2 stitches before we're back to working our peak again. And the top of that middle stitch we work 3 double crochets, and 3, before coming back down by working a further 2 double crochets, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches, before working our next 3 double crochet together. So we yarn over, insert the hook, bring our loop up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over and pull through 2, and then do the same in our next stitch. So we have pull through 2, got our 4 loops remaining on our hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. Work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and we're back to working in the middle of our peak again. So we work our 3 double crochets, my yarn's attacking me here, there we are. We should at this point have 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches remaining. So we're going to work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and that will leave us 2 stitches to work our double crochet 2 together. So we yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over, bring our loop up, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, bring your loop up, yarn over, pull through 2, got 3 loops remaining on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So that completes the first 2 rows of our project. So for row 2 that we've just worked all the way up to row 12, we're going to repeat row 2. So you can skip back to the start of this chapter and follow along and just keep repeating that for a total of 12 rows. So there's going to be another 10 rows after this one. So if you're doing a tally, you just need to do 10 more, or you just count your rows, you're doing for a total of 12 rows. Once you've done your 12 rows, we're going to come back and go through how to do the edging on our project, because as you can see, we need to fill in these gaps to create an actual square. So continue to work your row 2 for a total of 12 rows, and then I'll meet you back to do our edging. So at the end of row 12, you should now have your full kind of short chevron square here, and we're going to go in to start the edging, because what we want to do is to not fill in the spaces, but to join the chevrons so that we still get a nice square edge. So to do that, we start by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So once we've done our chain 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1, we don't work into the bottom of that chain 3 and we skip the next stitch. We then place a double crochet into the next stitch, followed by a half double crochet, and then into the top of that chevron we work 1 single crochet. We repeat down, working a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then a double crochet into the next, and then we're going to chain across the base of that chevron. So we chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. We skip the next 3 stitches, so skip 1, 2 and 3. This is the next one we're going to work into, and we're going to yarn over and work our double crochet. We then work a half double crochet, followed by a single crochet into the next stitch, a half double crochet into the next, and then a double crochet into the next. Again, we're going to miss the base of that chevron, so we chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So we skip 1, 2 and 3, and then here we're going to yarn over and work a double crochet, a half double crochet, followed by our single crochet, and we finish off by working a half double crochet, a double crochet into the next. We're going to chain 1 to skip that stitch underneath and end with a double crochet. So that creates 2 beautiful spaces opposite the peaks of this chevron, as well as a space at either edge. To continue with this edging, we start by working a chain of 2, and then we're going to single crochet around the post of this space, and that creates a corner for our square. So if I turn it, you can see you've got your corner space there. There we go. And we're going to continue to work down the side of this square, working into the ends of the rows, placing a total of 24 single crochets evenly. So this means that we're just going to work 1 single crochet into the end of each row, but we don't want any more than 24 of them. So this is where, when I was a beginner, I got a little bit confused, kind of where do I place them? Where do they go? So I'm going to try and do this and slow down a little bit for you to kind of show where the holes are, where we can place our hook. Ooh, already worked into that space, Fiona. It's so easily done. And we're just kind of working around the ends of the rows, placing our single crochets evenly. What we want is for our edge to not bunch up because there's not enough stitches, or be too wide because there are too many. So that's why a stitch count is given in these situations, to ensure that we work the right number that we need to marry up on both sides of our square. Now this is equally important when we're working a blanket where we're joining squares together. Because they're going to be made of different stitches, there's a risk that we won't have the same number of stitches or number of rows all along the edge of our squares. So this allows us to ensure that we have the right number. So I'm getting close to the end, so I'm going to check the number of stitches that I have. Because I've been talking to you, I've not been counting, which is my own fault. So I have 20 stitches so far. So that's 23, oh no, 21 even, 22, 23, and my final stitch is going in here, number 24. Whew, that was lucky. But it has brought me down to the next corner. So you can see there's my original slip knot. And in this corner here, we're going to work one single crochet, a chain 2, and then we start the pattern that we did on the top here. Now it's going to be slightly different because obviously we have 3 dips looking at us and 2 peaks. So it's going to be slightly different to what we worked on the top. And for this, we're going to start by working our double crochet into that where the slip knot was. Oops. And then we're going to work into the reverse of our chain. If I move that slip knot out of the way, it'll be a bit clearer. So we've got at the bottom of each of these stitches, we have a chain we need to work into. And I have worked into that one. Please ignore that one. So this is the next one for me to work. And we're going to repeat this pattern. So where we've got this DC3 together, we still need to skip the 2 stitches either side. So we're going to work a double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to skip those 3 stitches. So we chain 3. So chain 3, we're going to skip those next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're double crocheting into the bottom of the next chain. 1. Yep, that's 1 double crochet. Then we work our half double crochet. And then into the top of our peak, we work our single crochet, followed by our half double crochet. We then work our double crochet, and then we're ready to skip 3. So we chain 3, and then we skip, 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 and work a double crochet into the next. We then half double crochet. Oops. So at the top of our peak, so we work our single crochet, followed by our half double crochet, our double crochet. Now we have another dip here, another bottom of the peak. So we're going to chain 3 so we can skip 3. So 1, 2, and 3. It's there, not there. And then we're working our double crochet, work our half double crochet, followed by our single crochet in this corner. So at the end of this side, we now have our 3 peaks, or our 3 straight lines to join our square. We're going to continue to work all the way down this side, working again an even number, but we need to work our corner. So we chain 2 to put a corner in, and then we're going to single crochet into the same corner space, and then we're going to work those 24 single crochets evenly. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I am back to the start of that chain 3. So I'm going to add a couple on because I had an extra one up this side. I can put one into that around that double crochet, and then I'm going to add my corner into that third chain up. So I work a single crochet, chain 2, and another single crochet into that top of that chain, and then we can just slip stitch into that space, ready to fasten off. So you can just make a little chain 1, snip your yarn, bring that through with your hook. Oops. Then all that's left to do is to weave the ends in. So I hope you've enjoyed making your short chevron square with me today. It's a reversible pattern, in case you hadn't noticed, which I always like. The only difference is this edge has 3, this edge has 4 holes, but actually it's super stunning and super simple. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the rest of these squares that are available as part of this event. They are linked below for you in the description box, and you can find all 30 squares that are featuring in this event. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for making your very own short chevron square. I will see you again very shortly for another crochet square.